more like an ego thing when you have like a table and you have these bottles and then you can invite girls and we have alcohol and then girls would come. And then there are also girls in nightclubs and clubs who just look for guys with a table.
I definitely feel like there are a lot of guys who don't want to go out in the city unless they have a table.
Yeah. But I mean, talking to some guys about it, you kind of figure out that it's also something to do with if you can even be allowed to get into the club.
Exactly. True, that's the problem.
You're more secure if you have a table. And then something about them being comfortable. Yeah. And though if they have a space they feel comfortable, I've heard that from a lot of guys as well. Right, whereas I feel comfortable without one. Like I'm just gonna dance. Yeah, exactly.
Have fun.
But it is fun to like sit at a table, like especially because you can sit down if you want to sit down, and you have like alcohol. There's nothing like it's just
you can just relax.
Yeah, but you can also do that at home. Like if you're at a club, fucking dance.
Exactly.
But you can also dance at the table. I don't know how I feel about tables, honestly. It depends.
I feel like I'm not sure. I've never had a table, but I've had P-bois.
And girls' table.
I feel like a lot of girls they just get tables brought to them, kind of thing. But then at the same time, when you're out in the city, and a guy says, "Come over to your table," do you say yes? Do you say no? Because there's such a crazy vibe about girls going to guys' tables. Like, do they expect something from you? Are you seen as a table?
But is that what they call it? Borluder.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called in English actually, but like a table hoe, I guess.
The direct
someone who goes up to tables and just fishes.
But honestly, like, not that I would do it because I don't drink that much, but I understand it because the prices at nightclubs. I think when we were at a nightclub, I think we paid like 90 krona for 2 Red Bulls, and I was like, really? We didn't even drink alcohol, but 90 krona for 2 Red Bulls? That's crazy. But I get it, like
Red Bull and vodka and Arch, 300 krona.
What?
300 krona.
Ew. You can buy a bottle okay.
So sometimes, I mean, I don't really blame girls sometimes. I mean, it's expensive, and if you're being offered, then go ahead.
So that's also the sad thing for guys too, because they're also expected to buy drinks for women at clubs, and women I don't know if all women accept it, but some like all women expect you, like if you talk to me, not personally, but like there's like women would be like, buy me a drink before you're gonna talk to me, or like, do you get what I mean?
And I'm not that type of person. Definitely not. Like if a guy's approached me in a club and we're having fun, we're talking, we're vibing off each other, and he says, "What do you want to drink?" There are times where I'll say, "You know what? I'll pay for it." Not because I want something. Obviously, some guys pay for drinks because they are expecting something else. But just to have good company and vibe with each other, I think that.
But
also, ooh.
No, he's talking.
No, I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Like, do you think there's still a pressure with that? Because I don't think that Copenhagen nightlife is like that anymore.
No, it's not. Yeah, but it also depends. It like culturally. Like I know, like Danish guys. I don't think they feel as pressured, but guys from from in my culture, like the man is always it's just expected. Yeah. So I also think like my ex, he was like, you're never gonna, like every time we were out, like you're not gonna fucking pay. But that's also like a cultural thing. And then I feel like,
and they even get a bit upset if you offer to pay, like do it. And
feel offended. I've got into some arguments before where I say, listen, you pay too often. If it was someone I was seeing at the time, I want to pay. Like, I want to. Where
like,
you're
can't
kind
I
of
treat you as
in
well?
an argument at the bar, and he's like, don't you dare. Like, what do you then do?
But that's also the hard thing.
Fucking sexy.
I mean... But it's kind of hard because I feel as though exactly with table culture that sometimes you talk about it as an inequality. You know, girls get in for free, they get booze for free, everything is for free when it's about the nightlife, and boys have to pay a lot. But at the same time, a lot of guys actually kind of praise their ego through through that.
Yeah.
So,
but it is an ego thing,
isn't it?
But I think a lot of boys get a lot of confidence from having just a table.
Yeah.
And experience I've had before, just dancing, having fun with my friends, and a guy said, "Come to our table. You can have a drink or two." And I then sat down, and he just suddenly is asking me for a kiss. And I'm just like, no, it's not happening. Okay, then leave. Get up and go. And you just think, where did you get all that confidence from? Like, that wouldn't happen if he was just chilling on the dance floor. He wouldn't say, leave. But I think it's a power thing sometimes.
But that's like, not to generalize, but that's like a man thing again. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of hate from guys, but I think it's just that thing of knowing, okay, I have this, so you're my property, because this is what, like, again, the ego, feeding your ego, because I bought this table, I invited you here. If you're not going to do what I want you to do, then fucking leave. And then that's not human behavior. That's like, I don't know, that's just, I don't know. I feel like it's like, I don't know if it's an ego thing. I feel like it is, because I also, like, if I'm at a table, I would also like if I had a table with my ex-boyfriend, right? I would get mad if girls, like, just random girls just came. I'd be like,
yeah,
like, what are you doing here? But that's because it was my boyfriend. But but I don't know.
I think, I mean, it's about comfort for them, that they feel comfortable, especially if you're a minority.
Yeah,
because we all know that you have to, have a specific type of clothes on. Not too many minorities are let in at the same time. There's all of these different things that they have to think about. And so having a table gives them some kind of comfort if they finally get to go out.
Yeah, that
and even though it brings them a sense of comfort, because we're in this context, I still believe that table culture is wrong, because I don't think that it's necessary. It shouldn't be necessary for a guy to only feel comfortable being at a club if he can do this, and if he can provide, and if he can have this ego thing, and especially as a minority guy, that this is the only way you're allowed to party, is if you spend a whole lot of money on a stupid table. I can never
get my head around that.
I mean, because if you have a pride and a dignity from your culture or your personality, you can always show it in a different way. And it's just because we live in a context where it's like this, so this is how they do it. But I think that their, like, ego could be praised in a different way than necessarily tables, to be
But
honest.
it's also, like, in real life, like, people also, like, I don't know how you would explain it, right? But I'm gonna say, like,
politics woman over here.
But like, there's always, like, classes, like, people, like, poor, rich, medium, and I think that is also like in a nightlife, that's also like part of the, like, if you have a table, then you're more like VIP kind of. So I don't, like, I feel like it's,
and you can always do that in a different way. Now it's just because we have a table culture in a club that's how you do it. And then it has its advantages and its disadvantages. But I still think that I think it's kind of unfair on the men that they have to spend so much money.
I don't care. If you're stupid enough to use that money, okay. I'm gonna drink your alcohol.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're not getting let into a club without spending money, then it is kind of unfair.
I think that's unfair.
Then don't go clubbing.
But everyone wants to go clubbing. What do you mean?
But isn't that kind of unfair though? Like,
but like, if they don't care, then they don't care. Then that's not my problem.
True.
But I don't know. I don't know if there's something wrong with yes, there's definitely something wrong with our culture. But
I think there's something wrong with our culture when some type of guys can be let into a club whenever without a table, and then another set of guys have to buy a 10,000 krona table.
I've worked at a nightclub.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I actually got, like, the rules.
Yeah.
And then he said to me, like, he was I'm not gonna he was white, okay? And like he was also just like one of those creeps. Like, do you get me? Like, oh, what did you do with the hair? Like, how did you do that? And he already he's a type. And what's it called? He's just like, yeah, but the rules are like, if you came here with 5 black girls, I wouldn't let you in.
You see?
Yeah. What? And if you he said like the hidden rules are that they can't be too many, because then like the guests stamkunderne,
the white ones.
Yeah.
The white ones.
Just to spell
then
it
they're
out.
gonna feel like uncomfortable.
And it ruins the image.
Yeah, and it ruins the prestige or whatever of it. And he told me this, and I'm like, okay, excuse me, you're talking to a black.
What are you
I work here. You're telling.
Honestly, I like drop my uniform. I'll be out.
I didn't though.
You gotta make that money, girl.
But he wasn't the boss or anything, so I was just like, that's ridiculous. But it is true. There is a culture, like there is a rule, and they will never admit it, because like there's a million shows.
They
like,
admit it all the time.
They don't admit it. They would never say blah blah. But I know this guy who makes videos, right? Mm-hmm. And he did this experiment with, he had like his Danish friends go up, they got in, but then he had his like, what's it called? His invandrarvenner. What's invandrar? Foreigners, whatever. And then they tried and they couldn't get in. Mm-hmm. And he had it on film, and then they asked him like, why couldn't he get in, blah 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 blah, and he couldn't answer. But that's how it is literally in all the nightclubs. Exactly. And I know like people behind the nightclubs, and that's just how it is. It's sad.
Me too. And it's so sad.
And that also has something to do with the tables as well. Yeah. Because we're not thinking, when it comes to race, I feel like definitely a lot of black men will not be able to get into a club if they were a big group, unless they have a table.
And not even then, sometimes.
Sometimes they bought the table,
not even
and they don't even get let in.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just like a waste of money.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, and that's why I can be like, I just think, it sounds so stupid, but I think the system is wrong.
It is. It's so stupid, girl. Good morning. Scream it.
So wrong. And
say it louder for the people in the back.
It is complete. Like, it is fucked up.
And also, even imagine that this guy that you work with says, oh, but then the people who return to this nightclub every weekend will get uncomfortable looking at a lot of brown people. I mean, imagine that he just feels secure enough to say that
to a black girl. Like, you don't know me. I could have stabbed you, nigga.
Honestly. That's how crazy it is. True. Yeah. Haven't you guys also, at least I've experienced that a couple of times, where you go up with a bunch of white girls and then you're the only one not allowed to get in?
I tried that
I've tried that.
I've
it's like, oh, sorry, you're wearing the wrong shoes.
You're light skin.
Yeah, but so are you.
I know, but apparently apparently I'm dangerous.
They're like, oh my god, that is too exotic.
It's gonna like infest
Medusa.
Yeah.
It was shit nightclub. I'm sorry, Medusa.
No, but we're like, I don't know. We were a bunch of girls, and they had a table. The girls I was with.
You were with them, bitch. It's your table too.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't paid for it. No. But they didn't know that.
It could have been your table.
Exactly. What if it was my birthday and I was inviting all of these?
Oh my god.
It's your birthday, but nah.
Exactly, not you. But where I was actually wearing the same shoes as another girl. And then the picker said, it's your shoes. Your shoes are wrong. Like,
I would have fucking called the police, and I've been like, hey, this guy's racist. You guys need to take him to jail because it's illegal to be racist in Denmark. Like, what?
Does that work?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't work.
I'm just being dramatic.
It never works.
Okay, but yeah, tables. I like if I want to have like a good time, really good time.
Table's the way to go.
It's so fun to have a table. 100%. You can get literally fucked up drunk. You can sleep on the fucking sofa if you want to. Nobody will say shit. So I like tables when I'm like want to get lit, and it's just comfortable to have a place that you know everyone there. Like with my anxiety.
I think it's always a better night out if you've got a table.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask another question.
Those girl tables are shit though. Like
they're not even tables sometimes. No. You just get a bottle in a bucket and you're standing and there are no tables, you don't know where to go. Like, what do you do? And so you put the bucket on the floor, open the bottle and start drinking it. Like, what?
Girls,
Was this the fucking table?
Yeah, honestly, selling dreams.
Okay, new question.
Yeah, but you get a message saying, hey, like, got a table for you, blah, blah, blah. You thinking, and you get there and you've just got a bottle just standing there, like, what do I do with this?
Thank you for shit. I could have bought this bottle for 100 krona.
But someone actually DM'd me once and said, do you want to come to this nightclub on Saturday? People, but I'll make sure that you actually have a table. So it's actually a thing that they tell girls, you've got a people, you've got a girl's table, but there is no table. It's just a bottle of
Smirnoff.
Yeah, or a champagne bottle and
all that shit.
Exactly.
Shit. So nightclubs, you should like update or upgrade. People.
Yeah,
please.
100%.
And
but at the same time, it's free. Like, should it be
change
upgraded?
the system?
Yeah, I deserve the best, even if it's free. Okay.
Okay.
So
yeah, but they're inviting you to come to their nightclub because it's probably shit and there's nobody else there. Yeah. So at least make it a bit like attractive.
How about if so normally it's the guys who have the table, and then you're invited up to the table, right? You guys, because I know I do, but you guys take the booze, right? Like if I'm single, give you a glass,
ooh, if I would never.
Let's talk about
pour myself a glass.
No.
I would never do that either.
Yeah, they're like, here you go.
I'm kind of the person who like try and make sure if it's okay with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be the first one to receive a glass. I kind of.
I don't care.
I don't go. You
pour it up.
Okay. But yeah, I like to make sure it's okay first. I don't want to feel like I'm trying to
intruding. And like being all grabby.
I don't know. I feel like if guys invite you to a table, they automatically just give you the drink. So I've never felt like, should I wait? But I only do that shit when I'm single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I should go clubbing.
Who's up for it?
Are you?
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay.
When?
It's
this weekend? I mean it. Like, I actually mean it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you want to go?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Should we get a table?
Oh, that's a question.
Good question.
I think.
Just ask for a table.
Yeah, people. What do you mean?
Do we need one?
Just make sure we actually get a table.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So, table culture, guys.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it's not really that complicated. So the nightclubs in Denmark are half racist, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
You guys buy tables to be secure, but you're not always secure. Kind of sad that we're in 2020 and we still have to like think about these things, but whatever. But you know what? I've heard that also because foreigners make more trouble in the nightclub. I've also had that conversation with somebody, and that's why.
Definitely had some friends who have tried to get into a club and said, listen, the what's it called, the fact Damen has said,
the bouncer,
listen, I don't want any trouble tonight, so I'm sorry, you can't come in.
Yeah,
I don't agree.
Is that being
I don't know,
stereotypical?
It is very stereotypical, but it's also because they've had experiences. But you know, I think they're also like very dramatic because a white person can also be be a troublemaker. But I think it's just when when it's foreigners, it's just like more like noticed. Like you just notice 100%. It more.
I refuse to believe there has never been a group of Danish guys that have started a fight in a club. Like,
no, but of course, where they're on drugs, literally.
Oh, okay, gosh.
I know this as a fact because my ex-boyfriend, he did drugs, and he would go out on drugs to fight with people in the nightclub.
That's actually a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
But I would also like, for example, a friend of mine, he's a bouncer, so he's a vagtman, dørmand, whatever, and he's a minority. And he also says that for him, obviously, if he goes out with his friends, he has to be secure with the table. He has to know the club, blah 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 blah. But he also knows that his friends that don't have that don't have those contacts because now he works in the nightlife, so it's easier for him. They get that too, and what he said to me recently was that it offends him so deeply because if we look at Copenhagen, then the people who drink the most are like biologically Danish people. The alcohol culture is so big in the Danish lifestyle, you know, that, well, automatically you should think, okay, well, maybe it's the people who are drunkest who usually get into fights, whereas people who, I don't know, are Muslim and don't drink, they're the ones who are not allowed to get in.
Yeah,
because they look a certain way.
How many Muslims go into clubs and don't drink?
I know a lot.
Really?
I know. There's a girl right there.
I know a lot. Yeah. Also guys. Yeah. But I feel as though it's unfair in that sense as well. Like, I don't want any trouble, because I have to think, I have to believe that like the people who make most trouble are the drunkest, and that's usually the Danish people.
Yeah, but I don't think you can ever be in Denmark and tell people like, it's you. Exactly.
It's a like safe space. I think to talk about.
The country itself will always stick by their roots, as you say. They'd always blame it on the people that
are coming from outside,
other countries. 100%. And that's
but they're also the minority. Like, but they're also the majority. Majority. I was gonna say minority, but I was like, it's not minority. It's but opposite, it's because they're bread feeders or whatever, bread meat. Like, they're the ones who are there a lot. Yeah. But
But is that an excuse though?
No, it's not. But that's just how it is. And I mean, it's sad. I could cry about it, but I mean, I
don't think it's ever gonna change.
No, I like really you can only hope, but we live in such a ego. Like, I don't know. People are we're only focused on ourselves. It's sad, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So table culture
is a tricky subject.
It is. It's a tricky subject. Well, I feel bad for you guys that have to buy tables to get into nightclubs. I don't think that's, me too. Yeah, that's not. I wouldn't feel good like knowing like, oh, maybe I won't get in. It's also sad for me when my friends say like I could never get in. Like,
you just think, why on earth? And when you really know the person, you know they wouldn't. They couldn't hurt a fly. And you just think, based on what you look like, is the reality of it.
Literally, a guy friend told me the other week that he feels unsafe, like in the sense that the society that he is born in and grew up in doesn't welcome him because he can't get in anywhere. You know, how are you supposed to integrate yourself if you can't act like everybody else? Yeah. And he was really unhappy about it. He was like, I don't feel as though people are welcoming me because of the way I look like. And apparently, you know, at least for him, it goes deep. Not being let into clubs or whatever, it goes deep inside his vulnerable soul.
100%.
Yeah.
I also have a little brother who he's like a swimmer, and he's like he's brown, right? But he's very like Danish in his like ways, and just how he is. And his one time he was so upset because he was out clubbing he was gonna go clubbing with his friends, and that, you know, they're all white, and then he was the only one who couldn't get in. And like I've never been so mad before. Like, I was so mad because I was like, what the fuck? I mean, he's like the smartest. He's a fast swimmer, and he's like the alpha hand of the group, but he could still like could not
in this scenario.
No, in this like you can't get in because and it's not because like I don't know. It's just so
people are
it's
so
sad.
quick to say, I'm not racist. We're not racist. At the same time,
they're the ones that are racist, bitch.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like hidden. And it's right in front of people's eyes, and they don't even think about it. It doesn't even cross their mind.
Yeah. To completely come away from the table thing. But do you also feel like you can't speak up because then you're automatically the angry, like
bossy,
or like 100%. Why I'm not racist? Why are you mad? And why do black people always get so mad? And
but I do it anyways.
What?
I do it anyways.
I do, like I've stopped. I've completely like my teacher. He said, what was it? He said to me that because there were some kids who dressed up, like white kids who dressed up as Obama and his wife Michelle, right?
Yeah.
And then the blackface, and then the teacher told them to like take it off because history wise it's like wrong,
offensive,
right? Yeah. And then he was just like, I don't get why they got mad. I mean, he couldn't see it, and I was just like,
educate yourself.
Exactly. And then I told him
educate yourself.
Him that, and he didn't like. He was just like, yeah, but blah blah blah. And I was completely calm because this is my teacher. He's supposed to be smarter than me, but whatever. And then I was just like, imagine if I just went, okay, let's say, okay, this is not racist, but like, okay, to Jews, like if I was doing like, how do you say that in English?
If you were pretending to be Adolf Hitler.
Exactly. Yeah. If wouldn't that be wrong? And then he's just like, yeah, that would be wrong. And I was like, then why can't you see this from like from my side?
Again, in schools, Black history isn't on the curriculum. It's not taught.
Not here.
Here they
definitely
don't.
Not in Denmark.
We didn't learn anything about it in Kenya either. We learned about the Indians and the British.
Exactly. Jewish, Nazis.
Exactly, but nothing about the
Black history, not even a topic.
We did.
Really?
In my schools, in Africa, like not here.
Denmark, it's not on the curriculum.
Here, Kenya, I learned like but mostly about Kenya.
Exactly.
And British because they were the
and
ones
the
who
Indians.
had,
because that's about your own history.
But that's only like Kenya's. Yeah, but like the general. I've not. I
in
don't
Ethiopia,
think in school.
I learned a lot about like general colonization and how it's like the start of capitalism and stuff. We learned
also about apartheid. That
apartheid. Yeah. But at least in Denmark, it's true. Like you don't get anything about apartheid because it's so far away.
Wait, I did, but it's very little. It's like an English class because it's South African or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, and then. Imagine, for example, in Ghana that there are so many Danish monuments from colonist times. There's even a castle called Christiansborg, and still there's no education about that in a Danish context. That's crazy, I think.
I feel like I've been sleeping in Denmark like the whole time while I've been in school. I'm like trying to remember what I learned. I'm like,
I felt as though we had a lot about the Second World War.
All of the Danish education system.
Oh yeah.
I've gone to school in London my whole life.
Yeah. But were you educated in London about it? Because that would be insane if you weren't.
No. Because we're talking about Black history now.
Yeah.
Tables. Wow, we've just completely gone off the subject.
We've gone off the subject, but
we have to like. I know this is just a practice round,
but we have to stick to the topic.
Yeah, we need to stick because we're just going to be talking about shit.
Keep going on and on and on. So we should just round it off.
Yeah. So the table, we feel bad for guys that feel like they have to buy the table, but we also like. Personally, I enjoy sitting at a table. I don't mind being invited to get a drink or whatever.
Fill me up.
Yeah, it's comfortable. But yes, something in the nightlife definitely has to change in Denmark. 100%. Definitely. And like for the minority.
Yeah. That's how I feel. Yes. Thank you guys.
Yes. Thanks for watching. See you next time on LIQUORICE.com.
LIQUORICE.com.
Alright, cool. So I think like I've got some.
I literally just felt we were just having a conversation.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
It worked really well.